is stock. Before the 1.5 inch spacers. Got the first spacer installed here. Just wanted to go over a few things. Little tip, you're gonna need a bolt here to go in your rotor. You can just drop it in there and that'll hold it in place while you torque this down. Anyways, I wanted to clarify what you're gonna need. This is an 1.5 inch spacer, and I know I read a lot of people doing 1.25 inch spacers, and I don't know how they're getting away with it or if they're doing it right. This is a 15 F150, and my studs are about 1 3/8, and you can see this is an 1.5 inch spacer, and they're just seated inside there, and that's what you want so the wheel doesn't hit these studs. So this is an 1.5 inch spacer, and that's what you're going to need. Unless your truck's different, the best thing to do is just pull your wheel off and measure it. Anyways, you'll need a 19mm to tighten the nuts on the stock studs for the spacer, 21mm for your stock bolts there, and torque them down to 150 foot-pounds. That's what I'm doing, and we should be good. So I'm going to throw them on and we'll get back to it, see how it looks. So we're on the rear now, and surprise, surprise, the rear studs are a little bit longer. As you can see, about 1/8 inch longer. So I make these 1 5/8 in the back and 1 3/8 in the front, which is fucking retarded. But so I'm looking at my wheel, about to call it quits. Looking at my wheel, and it actually has a recess where those would go, and I laid it out and it should work. You know, worst comes to worst, I probably would take my angle grinder and lop that off. I don't think an 1/8 inch is going to make that much of a difference, but since this wheel has that recess, I'm going to stick it on there and make sure everything sits nice and flush, and we should be all right. Thought I'd just mention that. So yeah, moving on. All right, so we got one side done, and the rear wheel did indeed sit. The rear wheel studs did indeed sit in the pockets that my factory wheels have. I don't know if you know, aftermarket wheels will have that, and but mine did. So this is what it looks like. I think it's already looking awesome. The wheel looks like it's a little bit turned out right there, but you can see it here to the factory. So looking pretty good, pretty good. 2 more to go. All right, guys, got them on. Turned out great. I think they look awesome. Gives it a very nice curb appeal here. 1.5 inch spacers. Definitely turned out how I wanted it. I did confirm also that the rear studs are an 1/8 inch longer than the fronts. So if your aftermarket wheels don't have that space like mine do, then you'll have to grind them down or get larger spacers, whatever you want to go. I measured with a tape measure, so you know it's not perfect, but like I said, it's about an inch and I'd say 15-30 seconds on the front and an inch and 5/8 on the back. So just FYI, you know, you need to measure yours before you order your spacers. But definitely turned out nice. Gonna ride with them and then retorque them. It's always good practice to do that. But turned out great. So if you guys got any questions, know what to do. Thanks.